Hello again. In the mid-1970s I was briefly in Iran and very favourably impressed with the place. The thumbnail to this video shows a group of young women in Tehran in the early 1970s. Women had more freedom in Iran than in any other Muslim country. It was not really a democracy. The Shah kept a strict grip upon the country, suppressing opposition by means of a secret police called SAVAK, Farsi acronym for Bureau for Intelligence and Security of the State. At that time, Iran was a very close friend of Israel, supplying them with oil and so on, and it was also an ally of the United States. Because the Cold War was getting quite lively at that time, left-wing agitators funded by the Soviet Union fomented trouble in Iran. In this country, the Guardian newspaper was vociferous in its condemnation of the Shah and his regime, and it was generally claimed that Iran was a lackey of America. The idea was that if the Shah could be overthrown, then there were hopes for a left-wing government might take power. The Soviet Union was very keen to get a foot in that part of the world, of course. I was there in the autumn of 1978, and it really looked as though all the strikes and riots would force a change of regime. So they did, but not the one which was planned. Islamists were at work behind the scenes, and when the Shah was finally overthrown, Ayatollah Khomeini returned from exile in Paris in early 1979, and Iran was declared an Islamic Republic. It's been downhill all the way since then, especially for women. In Iran, women are obliged by law to wear the hijab. The current worldwide problems with Islamism date from this time. True, individual countries in the Middle East had difficulties with Islamists before that. Egypt had the Muslim Brotherhood to contend with, for instance, but these problems only affected Muslim countries, not the wider world. It was with the establishment of the Islamic Republic in Iran that Islamism began to be exported and acts of Muslim terrorism in the West began. The Islamism which now plagues this country all stems from the time of the overthrow of the Shah of Iran. It's for this reason that America would like to see the end of the current Iranian regime, and of course Israel too would like to see the back of it. If Iran manages to build nuclear weapons, then they will certainly use them, which is why they launched 3 satellites last week. The technology used to launch satellites is precisely the same as that used for intercontinental ballistic missiles. Iran is the enemy of the West in general, and it's the focal point for Muslim terrorism in the world and also for the export of Islamism. If anything can be done to bring down the present government there, then it would be good for all of us in this country. Mind, I'm not all that sure that this particular genie, that of Islamism, now that it's out of the bottle, will be able to be put back in again, even if Iran were to be completely destroyed. It's a great shame that the Shah was overthrown in the first place.